Greetings, programs, and welcome to something a little bit different. I'm actually just going to be doing a Transformer review, but I figured, hey, let's have some fun. Let's do more, a few atoms, just talk about the figure than just straight review. So, I'm actually going to be looking at the, I can't remember if this is War for Cybertron or Fall of Cybertron. I think it's Fall of Cybertron, Voyager class, Soundwave. And, just hands down, this is one of my favorite figures I have ever messed with. You gotta fix the front piece here. Yeah, right off the bat, the only downside to this front piece is supposed to be forward like that. It usually will just sit flat. So, it is what it is. Just leave it flat if you want. It doesn't matter. But, since this is him, still on Cybertron, you don't get, like, a boombox or something, because it wouldn't make a lot of sense. What's he hiding from? So instead, he's like this big, just armored van kind of thing. These actually really nice looking, transparent, transparent, whatever, purple, not opaque wheels with some silver paint on them. They all roll, like, really, really smoothly. And, he actually has one of the better gimmicks, because, if you pull this back all the way, you can see there's a little gray button hiding down in there. If you push that, front pops open, and it's got this big chamber. And that is for, I'll just start off here with the one he came with, his data disk of Buzzsaw that my camera does not want to focus on right now. Focus. Okay, I'll probably take like some nice pictures of these things and splice those into the video here. But, yeah, so instead of having cassettes or something, he has these little deployer guys. And so you can actually stack up to 3 of them into that hole there. Close it up if you want. Obviously just drive around with them. Or if you grab it kind of looks like a chair back here, but you can just kind of grab a hold of that and push forward, and it will actually launch them out. And these guys actually just transform on the way out of Soundwave. So, really quick, obviously you've got Laserbeak, your classic Condor. Really nice version of him, actually, I think. Really simple, just really fast to just transform him back. And if you don't want to put him in here, you can just drop him on a table or something if you don't miss. There's just a button that sticks out of the bottom right there. That gets hit, they pop open. So he came with this one, but then there were 2 sets you could buy of others. So, and the sets were 2 packs, and they actually came in little cases as well, which was kind of a nice little feature. But so in total there were 4 of them. Just because of how the internet is about this topic, when we talk about them at the same time, you'll not know which one is which. But we have Rumble and Frenzy here, or Frenzy and Rumble, the twins that you would always expect to come out with your Soundwave figure. The same will just pop open transformations. Works a little better if I drop them on my laptop instead of just onto the table because of the tablecloth here. But, they pop open. These ones you do have to transform a little bit. Basically, you just, pull out their feet like that and, turn their arms the right way around. But either way, you end up with, your little Decepticon deployer twins like you'd expect. Again, I'll try to take better pictures because this camera does not want to focus for me. It's supposed to, but it won't. But those ones are really, really cool. Let's see. This one, you also got a really nice version of Ratbat, who at first you'd think it's just, Buzzsaw with a different head, but as far as I can tell, all but maybe 1 or 2 pieces on this guy is actually completely remolded. So he's not just the same thing with a different head or something. He's actually Still completely unique figure, unique mold. He just has the same transformation style. And then lastly, you get the black cassette, which is the most important one. It takes the most post-drop work to transform it. But you end up with this actually really, really mean-looking little Ravage. And this one of them all is actually my favorite of the deployers. So, again, I'll throw up some pictures here, let you see him in way better detail, but I love that figure. And so just, you know, the overall gimmick with this guy, using the deployers and everything, actually ejecting them out, being able to stack 3 of them in there is really cool. You notice I didn't stack 3 in there. That's because they do have a tendency to kind of get stuck. Because it has to kind of hold them in place to actually get the button to depress enough to transform them on their way out. And because of that, the clearance is a little tight, so it doesn't always work the best. I don't like to risk it because this is already like a 10, 15-year-old figure, so it's older than I'm willing to risk it at. Might only be 10 years old, a little less than that, I can't remember, but either way, I don't want to mess with it. Transform him is actually pretty straightforward and really nice, pretty fun to do. So you just rip the gun off the top of him, pull this back so you can untab his feet, and you get some nice little... Am I doing as ASMR? ASMR. You know what? I'm not even gonna. We're leaving that in. Whatever. But yeah, you just drop in, pull out his legs, fold out the outsides. Pretty similar transformation to the deluxe version that came out before this one. You know, 2 panels open up there, reveals his head, which has some pretty great light piping, actually. Unfortunately, the light's coming from that side, not this side, so it won't show up right. Again, pictures, like I said. Mostly to remind myself to actually take them while I'm editing this. So, then just bring out his arms here. These whole little side sections will unpeg and flip up. Close up the panel that hit his head. And just kind of grab the legs, bring them all the way down. Take his wheels, get them back out of the way. You know, this is one of those figures that you don't even really need instructions for or anything. He's really intuitive. You can kind of just see where he moves, and if you've messed with a Transformer before, you'll kind of understand what's going on after just a few seconds of, you know, just seeing what moves. Just get his hands folded out here. Bring that shoulder up too. Then you can either take the gun and his left hand actually has a molded trigger finger out. So you can put the gun in that hand, or traditional style, go ahead and put it on his shoulder. And he actually does have enough of a range of motion. You can bring up to the left hand to actually hit the button on his shoulder. So he can do like his own ejecting of the little guys if you want. But this figure is just so much fun to play with and just mess with, because he's got, you know, ratchets in his elbows, ratchets in his knees, you know, really, really good range of motion and everything. You know, like the only thing he's really missing is he doesn't have an ankle tilt. It's whatever, you know, for everything else he's got, you know, he's got multiple wrist joints, because you can actually, like, bend his wrists up as well as rotating them, full 360, you know, full range on the arm. The arms go out This one goes out a little more because it doesn't have the gun to get in the way, but, you know, head's on a really tight swivel, but, you know, we can look back and forth a bit. Obviously the gun gets in the way of that too, but overall, he's got a lot of posability and a lot you can do with him. And, yeah, I actually ended up liking this guy so much that, I went and got his recolor. So here we have Soundblaster, which is, canonically, as I understand, just Soundwave but stronger. And so he's got a nice, you know, black and red color scheme going on. All the exact same joints. Feels just as good as the other one does. And instead of coming with Laserbeak, he came with a little yellow buzzsaw, who is exactly the same as Laserbeak. There's not even the slightest bit of remolding there. But it doesn't matter. It's awesome. Both of these figures are just great. So they're easily some of my favorite Soundwave figures. I really recommend looking for them if you can. Obviously, they're older. They're haven't been made for a while, so you might have to spend a little bit of money to get them, especially if you're trying to get them complete with all the deployers and the deployer cases, but they're just worth it, you know? So, anyway, let me know what you think of this format. We'll see about maybe doing some more like this, or just go back to arms over the camera. So, anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.